All right, welcome. We're about to go on a pretty deep journey. We're diving straight into one of the most protected secrets of the Torah. We're going to try to peel back the layers of what we call reality and explore the actual architecture of the cosmos itself. We're talking about the origin of your soul and the real mission it was sent here to accomplish. And look, this isn't just some ancient dusty text. This is basically the operating manual for existence, and it's drawn directly from the mystical pages of the Zohar. Okay, let's get into this.
I mean, it's a question we all ask, isn't it? You feel this sense of purpose inside, this inner hum, but the why of it all, the where did I come from, that often feels just out of reach. Well, the Zohar doesn't just ask this question, it gives a detailed, absolutely breathtaking answer. It suggests that our being here isn't some cosmic accident, but a very deliberate, really high-stakes deployment into the physical world.
And this is our starting point. This single line from the Zohar gives us the central metaphor for everything we're about to explore, a vast cosmic tree. Now, we're not just talking about a poetic image of a plant. You have to understand this tree is the blueprint of reality. It's a living, breathing, divine structure that connects the highest, most unknowable realms with our physical world right here. Every idea we're about to unpack is a branch or a root or a piece of fruit from this one magnificent tree.
So to really get a handle on the journey, you have to understand the starting line. You have to know the place of origin. Where was your soul before it ever came into this world? The Zohar asks us to try and picture a realm of pure, undiluted spiritual light, a place that is our soul's true original home.
Okay, to really visualize this, you have to think on a scale that's almost impossible. Forget about any tree you've ever seen. The Zohar calls it an Elana Rabba, a great tree. Its height is described as a journey of 500 years. Its canopy has 60 myriad branches. It literally fills all of creation. This is the divine scaffolding that all worlds, spiritual and physical, are built upon. Just try to imagine the sound, not of wind in the leaves, but the cosmic hum of creation itself rustling through a billion spiritual branches.
And deep beneath this cosmic tree is its power source. The mystics have a name for it, the Yama Deneshmeten, which means the Sea of Souls. And no, it's not water. It's this infinite reservoir of pure soul essence. Picture a brilliant, shimmering ocean of light. This is the master repository where every single soul that has ever existed or ever will exist comes from. In modern terms, it's the master source code for all consciousness.
And you have to understand, this tree isn't some static object. It is alive. There's a constant flow of divine energy, what's called the Shefa, pulsing up from that sea of souls, traveling through the roots and surging into the trunk. Think of it like a river of pure light, carrying the life force of the Infinite One and distributing it through the entire structure, out to every last branch, every single leaf, animating all of existence. And it's this very energy that eventually coalesces into an individual soul, getting it ready for its big journey.
So you have this perfect, unified, harmonious realm. And the obvious question is, why leave? Why on earth would a soul descend from that state of total bliss and unity into our fragmented, chaotic, and challenging physical world? Well, the Zohar explains this not as a punishment or a fall, but as a deployment, a highly structured, purposeful mission. And to really wrap our heads around it, we're going to use a bit of a modern analogy.
This slide just nails it. Okay, check this out. On one side, you have the ancient mystical blueprint. The great tree, the Elana Rabba, think of that as the ultimate cloud architecture that runs all of reality. The Sea of Souls, the Yama Deneshmeten, well, that's the master source code repository. You could call it the GitHub for the entire cosmos. And the Soul's Descent, Neshetat HaNashama, that's a spiritual packet deployment. A specific piece of code is compiled, it's encrypted, and it's sent from the main server into a totally new operating environment, our world, to execute a very specific function.
And this right here, this is the mission statement. The soul isn't being kicked out or exiled, it's being sent. The whole point of this deployment is to engage with the physical world, because this world is filled with what the mystics call fallen sparks, little embers of divine light that got trapped in material existence. So the soul's job is to interact with the world through every choice, every action, every experience, and through them to find these hidden sparks, to elevate them, and to send that refined spiritual energy back to the source. It is, quite literally, a mission of cosmic refinement.
Okay, so a soul gets the green light for its mission. How does it get from that sea of souls all the way down into our world? Well, it has to travel through the great tree. And the structure of that tree, what's known as the 10 Sephirot, is the divine map for this whole journey. It's the step-by-step process by which infinite, unified energy becomes a specific individual being. Let's walk through this map. The journey starts way up top, in what you could call the divine mind. Keter is the crown, that first initial spark of will to create. Chakma is the flash of raw insight, the seed of the idea. And Bina is the deep understanding that takes that seed and develops it into a detailed blueprint. From there, this pure concept flows down into the cosmic heart. Chesed is this expansive, flowing, loving kindness. Gevura is its opposite, strength, discipline, structure. And Tiferet is the beautiful harmony that balances the two. This is where the soul gets its core emotional and moral programming. From there, it moves to the creative engine. Netzach, Had, and Yesod are the forces that take that emotional blueprint and get it ready for actual manifestation, funneling all that energy toward a single point ready for birth into the final step, Malchut, the kingdom, our physical reality.
So here's the really crucial point. Your soul is not some random accident. It is the end product of this magnificent, cascading flow of divine energy. It started as a pure potential in the divine mind, it was given its unique emotional character in the cosmic heart, and it was prepared for its specific life's work down in the creative engine. What does that mean? It means you are a custom-built packet of consciousness, perfectly designed for the mission you were given.
Think about it. Before any operative is sent out into the field, they get a mission briefing, right? They get their equipment, their intel. The soul is no different. As it makes its way down through the Sephirot, it's being equipped with all the spiritual tools, the permissions, and the parameters it's going to need to navigate reality and actually succeed in its task. First thing, the soul is imprinted with the fundamental structure of the cosmos. The Zohar talks about 12 supernal boundaries, these 12 spiritual domains that define the whole landscape. In our tech analogy, these are like the highest level firewalls or server domains. If this were a video game, these would be the 12 major zones on the world map. And the soul is given 12 keys of access, one for each boundary, so it can properly interface with the basic structure of creation.
Next up, the number 7. The soul is then aligned with the 7 foundational pillars that reality is actually built on. Now, these correspond to the 7 lower Sephirot, and they're often called the 7 heavens or the 7 spiritual foundations. Think of these as the 7 core protocols or operating systems of the universe. The soul is made compatible with all of them, so it can function within the established laws of spiritual physics.
Now this is absolutely crucial to understand. It's the concept of completeness. The soul is not sent on its mission with a handicap or lacking anything it needs. The 100 keys is a symbol for a full set of permissions. It's basically root access to the system. The soul is given the potential to unlock every kind of blessing, to overcome every kind of obstacle, and to access every form of divine help it could ever need. The tools are all there, right from the very beginning.
And finally, the soul gets encoded with an understanding of the primary spiritual forces it's going to run into, and these are represented by 4 main colors. The Tikkun Zohar explains this beautifully. White is the color and energy of Chesed, unbounded love, mercy, flow. Red is the energy of Gevura, discipline, strength, strict judgment. Green, the color of harmony, represents Tiferet, which is the perfect balance point between the red and the white. And black represents the foundational energy of Bina and Malkut, the very substance of reality itself. During its life, the soul has to learn how to navigate and balance all of these forces.
So, the briefing is complete. The soul is fully equipped. The spiritual packet is compiled and ready for deployment. And now we come to that final, dramatic moment of transition, the soul's entry into the physical dimension. The quest is officially about to begin.
So let's bring back our analogies for this incredible moment of incarnation. In the video game version, your soul, your neshama, that's your player avatar, fully briefed and ready to go. Your body, the goof, that's the physical interface, the controller that lets you interact with the game world. And this life? This is the current level. Or, in the cosmic engineering version, the neshama is an encrypted data packet with its mission parameters loaded. The goof is the biological hardware it's running on, and this world is the deployment environment where it has to execute its code.
And just like that, the descent is complete. The soul, which started as this pure, formless spark of brilliant light, has now traveled down through the entire Sephirotic tree, and it has arrived in the final Sephirah, Malchut, the kingdom. It is now cloaked in a goof, a physical body, which the Zohar poetically calls its garment. And this garment does two things. It conceals the soul's true radiant nature, but it also allows it to interact with the physical environment. The mission starts now.
So what's the whole point? What's the win condition of this game? The purpose of the deployment? It all comes down to a single profound Hebrew word, tikkun. It means to repair, to rectify, to elevate. The mission of every single soul is to engage with its own unique corner of the physical world, its family, its community, its job, its personal challenges, and to perform acts that elevate those fallen sparks of holiness, to repair the brokenness it finds, and to reconnect this material world, piece by tiny piece, with its divine source way back up in the great tree.
But here's the thing. The mission, even if it lasts a whole lifetime, is temporary. The deployment has an end date. This powerful verse from Ecclesiastes points to the ultimate destiny of the soul. After it has completed its work, gathered all of its experiences, and refined its little corner of reality, the soul's journey comes full circle. It ascends back up through the worlds, returning to its source, and it brings with it all the elevated light that it managed to gather. The journey out is only half the story. The journey home is the final act.
So when we step back and look at our whole journey through the great tree, it really reveals 5 essential truths. First, that reality isn't random. It's a living, divine architecture. Second, your being here is not an accident. Your soul is on a mission of true cosmic importance. Third, you are not sent unprepared. You are fully equipped with every spiritual key and code you could ever possibly need. Fourth, the goal of it all is tikkun, that sacred work of repairing and elevating the world around you. And finally, remember, this is a round trip. The ultimate destination is always the journey back home. And that brings everything right back here, to this moment. This ancient wisdom isn't just a fascinating story to tell, it's a direct call to action. It reframes every single moment of your life as a new opportunity for tikkun. The person you're about to talk to, the task sitting in front of you, the challenge you're afraid to face, every single one contains a spark of divine light just waiting to be elevated. So the question we want to leave you with is this. Knowing where you came from, that sea of souls, and knowing the purpose of your deployment, what specific spark will you choose to elevate today? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.